Hello traders, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. It's your boy Hassan and I'm back again with another banger, another video. So this is US oil and we're going to be analyzing it using our strategy, our Tricon strategy. So I'm going to be taking you through a step-by-step guide on how to analyze the market using this particular strategy. So stick around until the end of the video. You'll learn how to analyze the market. And why I'm analyzing US oil right now, it's because something good has happened on US oil, something that I've been telling you each and every day about US oil. And remember, I told you last video I did about US oil, I told you US oil was likely to sell to the downside, maybe to come and make a double bottom on the daily time frame before it can start buying. It turns out our analysis was correct, and now I'm going to be taking you through the step by step on how I came up with that and what was the thought process behind that. So stick around until the end of the video, you're going to find out. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and also if you learned something from the video, don't forget to like the video. Something good has happened in US oil and we're going to be going through the analysis together such that you can learn how to analyze the market. And also the book is out, my book is out guys, on this same strategy and other things. If you want to learn the strategy, purchase that book. For this month it is going to be for $10, and then starting November it is going to be $20 fixed. Also mentorship is on, and if you guys want to join the mentorship, it is going to be $100 for this month, and then next month it is going to be $150 going forward. So take advantage while it is still there's also, you can join my free Telegram channel. That is where I'm teaching this how to analyze using this strategy for free for the whole of this month, only this month. So you can click the link in the description or in my bio and join that free Telegram channel. You're going to be analyzing the market every Saturday for free. So with that being said, let's proceed to the charts, and then we see why US oil sold and why we anticipated it to sell, what were our entry triggers, and why we were so accurate on that. So this is US oil and this is the weekly time frame. So I'll just go to any small time frame, like I'm going to start afresh, like I always tell you. So just go to any small time frame, like now this is the 2 hour. Let's say you have opened the chart and you're on the 2 hour time frame and you want to find your entries or how to take advantage of US oil buys. So the first thing you want to do, I always tell you, is you want to go to your highest time frame. The first thing you want to do is you want to go to your highest time frame. So I always just type here, go to your highest time frame. So after that, this is always number one. And you see guys, I use the same strategy, same steps every day, just to replicate the things over and over again. And that is what consists of a good forex strategy, something that can be replicated over and over again without mistaking it again. So your system should be applicable on each and every chart, and you can be able to replicate it over and over again, or you can break it down to a 5-year-old step by step and they be able to understand it. That is what consists of a good strategy. If you don't have that, then it is going to be hard for you to be profitable in the market in the long run. That means you're going to be gambling. So after going to the high time frame, the next step is we want to mark out structures. We want to mark your structures on the high time frame. Mark structures. So the structures can be supply and demand. They can be support and resistance. They can be any chart patterns, any chart patterns you can see Okay, let me not write that. Any chart patterns you can see on the high time frame. So after you have gone to your highest time frame, you want to identify supply and demand zone, support and resistance areas where price is likely to turn around, or any chart patterns, let's say head and shoulder, inverted head and shoulder, double tops, double bottoms. So after that, after marking out your structures, you want also to identify the candlesticks that on the high time frame, how do they look like? Are they engulfing candles? Are they marabuzo? Like anything that can give you information about what the high time frame is likely to do. So after that, now this is where we drop down to our medium time frame. Drop to medium time frame. So medium time frame, mainly we are looking for confirmations that the market is likely to go in the narrative we built on the high time frame. So our medium time frame is going to be mainly for our confirmations. Also, this is where most of the work happens, on the medium time frame, because you're going to be waiting for confirmations there. So you're just looking at those candles move up and down until they reach your area of interest, your point of interest. Before they reach your point of interest, you're not interested in the market until they reach your point of interest, and then you wait one more for confirmation in order for you to drop down to the lower time frame. What is going to be your confirmation is in this case, you're going to be looking at the head and shoulder, not head and shoulder, you're going to be looking at an indecision candle or indecision candles at this medium time frame. For example, if we at support, you want to see indecision candles at support, and then that will give you confirmation to drop down to the lower time frame or entry time frame to start looking for your entry. Is simple, clear, and straight to the point. If you can get this, then you're going to be able to learn how to analyze the market the right way. That's why I tell you guys, you don't have to forget to subscribe to the channel, and also like the video if you are indeed learning something out of it. Don't forget to buy to get my book. The link, just get to the Telegram channel and then ask for the book. The link is going to be in the description of the video or the bio of the channel. So let's continue. So after that, number four, you want to, now after getting the confirmations, you want to drop to your lower time frame or the entry time frame. So just say drop to lower time frame or entry time frame. So on your lower time frame or your entry time frame, you're looking for confirmations in form of heads and shoulder, or supply and demand, or double bottoms stroke double tops. However, like I said before, double bottoms, double tops, I trade them with the break of the neckline or the change of character. Then on the break of structure, that is now when I look for a valid zone to enter. For the head and shoulder, as long as I see a complete right shoulder, I just enter. Supply and demand, always use it with a break of structure. So guys, you can see these rules are always 4 or 5, they never exceed that. Just have to follow this and be patient. Or maybe what I can add as the core rule of the strategy is be patient. So the core rule of the strategy is that you have to be patient. You have to be as patient as you can be. What is this? You have to be as patient as you can be. If you're not patient, then it is going to be hard for you to I don't know this thing. Okay, let me just leave it at that. So the core rule is you have to be patient. Why do you have to be patient? Is that when these market structures are forming, you'll have to be patient enough to wait for them to form and complete. If they have not completed, you shouldn't be interested in entering that trade, because you're either going to enter premature trade or you're going to enter a false signal, and then you're going to be burnt out, or you're going to get a false setup. What you want to do is you want to wait until the the structures have already formed. Before they form, please don't try to enter the market. You're going to be burnt out. So these are the rules. They're on the screen. You can just take a screenshot, a quick screenshot of them, and then keep them somewhere so you can go and replicate that on your charts, and then backtest and see what you can get out of it. You can also forward test. Use a demo account and forward test and see what you can get out of it. So after you have identified your rules, this is now going to be your trading plan. So what you have to just look out is for where you're going to put your stop loss and what will be your take profit and your trade management, because this one is going to give you how to know the direction of the market, where it is going, what is going to be your take profit, and then you can determine what is going to be your stop loss. So if all that is done, now we go to apply these rules on our charts, and these are the things I teach almost every day. Guys, you should be able to understand the things. That is, if you already know the basics of trading. If you don't know, then you'll have to join my mentorship, such that I can take you through the basics and guide you through this strategy. This is a very good strategy because it combines almost three strategies in one. So if all are telling you to sell, why would you want to buy in that market? For example, US oil was telling us to sell. Why would you want to buy in that market that was ready for sales? You wouldn't want. So guys, don't forget to like the video. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and join my free Telegram group. The link is in the description. So let's duplicate this on the charts. Now what are we going to do? This is the 2-hour time frame. 2-hour time frame. So you got the chart and you find yourself on the 2-hour time frame. What is the first thing you want to do? You want to go to your highest time frame. This is rule number 1. You want to go to your highest time frame to identify the direction of the market and where price is currently. So my highest time frame is always the monthly, but if the month has already begun, like for example today is 5th, I'll always consider my highest time frame to be the weekly. So I'll go to the weekly time frame as my highest time frame. Good. Let me just get my rules up here. So now I'm on the weekly time frame. What next should I do? Mark your structures on the weekly time frame, on the highest time frame, with support, supply and demand, support and resistance, or any chart patterns that you see. So when I look at my structures clearly, I can see zones to mark. However, if you don't see them, it is always and always good that you use the line chart. So when you got the line chart on the weekly, you see there is a zone there. There is a zone here. Retested, price went up, rejected, price now has come down, and now it is retesting that zone. And also we had this zone here. However, I had marked down here, but I'll show you why I marked down. For now, let me put it there. Now you have marked out your visible structures, and you always want to mark only visible structures which are clearly visible. You can just look at the chart and you see this is where price was turning around. Don't look for things that are not there. That is why they always tell you to trade what you see, not what you think. Do not look for things that are not there. Only use the things that you can see. So these are the structures that you can see, and whenever you are in doubt, always try to use the line chart, because the line chart is going to give you the true structures, the naked structures of the market. So then we go back to our candlesticks. So now you can see that things are disorganized, and this is here where we are. So I'm just going to refine this back to here, because this is the last low that price closed at. So the weekly tells me that price is at this previous support, which it turns into resistance. However, price was from testing the previous support down here to go to this resistance here. Then it made a bullish engulfing candle, engulfing the previous two weekly candles. This is something so big. This is something so serious, because we have taken out the previous two weekly candles. This is a bullish engulfing candle. So it shows you that the buy momentum from here was so big. Why? Because these previous two candles, the weekly candles, it took 2 weeks for these candles to form. However, it took only 1 week for this candle to engulf the previous two candles, showing that there's a lot of buy momentum at around this area. The thing is that we have tested resistance, and we know at resistance we are likely to sell than buying. So we have two narratives. We have an engulfing candle showing us very high buy momentum, and then we have resistance here. However, if you look down here, you can see that this is a demand zone. This is a drop base rally. If you go to the line chart, it is there, drop base rally. So it is a clear demand zone. So it's highly likely that price will come down here, retest from the zone, and then bounce off to the upside. I'm not saying that is what would happen, but it is likely it will come down there. So we are looking at price to retest here and come here, then proceed to the upside. So that is a narrative that we have built. Now we are favoring more sales than buys because we are at resistance, though this is an engulfing candle. However, since we are going to enter with confirmations, we don't have anything to worry about. Good. So let me just delete this, and then we'll go to our rules. So when we go to our rules, what next? After marking out structures, we drop to medium time frame to look for confirmations. So now we have marked our structures. Good. So now we are going to drop to medium time frame. My medium time frame is always the daily. Good. So when I come to the medium time frame, well, let me just extend that here. This is why I refine that to down here, because this indecision, and you see when price created indecision candles down here before it started moving up. So when I come to the medium time frame, what do I want? I'm looking at price likely to come and test here. On the weekly time frame, it is already the week already rejected here, but on the daily, price has not yet reached there. So I'm looking at price coming here, giving me confirmations in the form of indecision candles, and then I drop down to the lower time frame for entries. But before we go there, we are going to play price action. I'm going to be using the replay tool. I'm going to play price action to this level, and you will see what happens. However, before I do that, if you look daily, if you look well at the daily, this is now where we refine these daily zones and make sure they are where they are supposed to be. Yeah. So if you look well at the daily time frame, you see there is a supply zone here. This is a rally, a base, a drop. Very good drop to the downside. There is a supply zone here, and also there is a resistance zone. So we have a supply zone and a resistance zone at the same time frame. On the weekly time frame, we have a resistance zone. On the daily, we have a supply zone and resistance zone at the daily time frame. So this one also can tell you that we might be wanting to sell when we reach here, because we sold here massively before. This is a good thing. Remember, this is something that I analyzed last week. So if you watch that video, you should be knowing that right now US oil is selling. So now I'm going to play price action forward and see what happens. While I'm playing price action forward, for you, yours is to wait, because this candle is moving from here up to here. It can take even up to 4 to 5 days, so you have to wait. Though in price action, because it is previous candles, it is going to be quick, but in real time you'll have to wait. Like I put here, the core rule of the strategy is to be patient and let price play out to your advantage. So now we want to get confirmations from the medium time frame. This is why I told you a lot of work is going to happen, because we are going to stay here for a long period of time waiting for price to reach our point of interest and give us confirmations. If we don't get confirmations, we don't enter, guys. So let me play price forward. You see, immediately the next day opens, price jumps from here up to here and then closes above here at this previous supply zone. So do we immediately enter a sell from here? No, we don't. Why? Because we don't have any confirmations to sell. Do we buy from here? We cannot buy at resistance unless we see a clear break and close to the upside, a retest, and then we look for buys. But for now, we do not have anything that is telling us to buy or sell. So what do? Since we are anticipating to sell, we now look for confirmations in form of indecision candles or an indecision candle that gives us confidence in sales. So I'm just going to play, and all this time I'm playing for you, just waiting, because price action is still moving and the daily will take a full day for that candle to close. So I'll just play price forward. So look what happens. When I play price forward, the next candle comes out as an indecision candle with a rejection from the upside. Now, this should give you confirmation and confidence that maybe we are likely to start dropping down, because if price was to continue to the upside, it wouldn't be printing indecision candles with big rejection to the upside. This is a daily candle, guys. It would just spear through and go to the upside. However, it can print these indecision candles and still continue to the upside. That's why we want even more confirmations on the entry time frame. Now, after this indecision candle has printed and closed on the daily time frame at your area of interest or point of interest, this is now when you want to drop down to the lower time frame. If you see on my time frames, I've been using the 4-hour, but I introduced the 6-hour. Why? Because the 6-hour tends to have good structures than the 4-hour, though they work in the same way. And also my entries are mainly on the 4-hour than the 6-hour, but for the 6-hour is for mainly those good structures. And you also have to ask yourself, why does TradingView has to give you 6-hour for premium and it does not give you on the regular version? You just know it is because the 6-hour is so important in the market. That's why I introduced it there. So we are going to drop down to lower time frame or entry time frame to look for confirmations. So I'll first go to the 6-hour before I go to the 4-hour for entries. So the 6-hour, this is what you see. You see, on the 6-hour, there was a bearish engulfing candle at this zone. And you remember the analysis I did on BTC USD. If you see a bearish engulfing candle at resistance on a high time frame, just know something is likely to happen. So when I go to the 4-hour, do I see that a bearish engulfing candle? Yeah, it is also there, but the one for 4-hour, it also has a double top. So let's first focus on the one for 6-hour. So after this bearish engulfing candle, when you go to the line chart, this is what you see: a high, a low, a high, a high. So now I want price to break this higher low and make a lower low in order for me to see a change of character and start looking for my sales on the 6-hour. So when I play price action forward, price retraces, then retraces again. But look what has happened, guys. Look what has happened on the 6-hour. Price comes and then it leaves here something like a drop, base drop, a supply zone, and then breaks this previous low that I've been talking about. When you look at it, you see a head and shoulder at resistance. This is a head and shoulder, guys. I think everyone can accept that is a head and shoulder at resistance on the 6-hour. However, when I go to the 4-hour, this is what I see. Now, this is why I told you the 6-hour has more accurate structures than the 4-hour. On the 4-hour, this is what you see: something that is not recognizable. It is like a triple top. It is like head and shoulder, which is not complete. But when I come on the 6-hour, it is a complete head and shoulder. So you guys who are using TradingView, you should think about the 6-hour. It is a very good time frame. So the 6-hour now breaks down here. So after it left me here a supply zone, this one here. So this is a drop, base, drop. If you can go to the line chart, you can see it: drop, base, drop. So this is a clear supply zone. Now this is my confirmation that we are going down. However, now how do I take advantage of that? Do I enter on this full candle here? I don't. I'm waiting for any kind of retracement to this zone, and then I start selling. Any kind of retracement to the zone, I start selling. So I'll just play price forward, and you see the next candle, it is a bullish candle and almost like a bullish engulfing candle. So you'll sell from there. Don't fear to enter because you've seen a bullish engulfing candle. You know your zone is valid. You have analyzed the market from the weekly time frame. There is no reason for you to fear to enter from here. to stop losses, you're going to put them slightly above like that. So this is price testing our zone. So where is our target? First level target is this demand zone, this one here, that is around 200 pips. However, the last target is going to be down here. Good, down here. So when we continue, I'll just play price forward and see what happens. The next candle is a bearish candle, and then price starts to play around that zone. So by this time, when you go to the 4-hour, I think that is now when you get the confirmation. Yeah, price broke down here, came to retest into the zone, dropped down, but it was not clear because this thing is not clear as the one for the 6-hour. Look at the one for the 6-hour, very clear and clean. Head and shoulder price drops, retests, and now it is going down. So guys, think about having the 6-hour. So you see, price starts to drop and it even breaks this previous low, making a lower low. So after that, we have a clean supply zone here, drop, base, drop. So you have this position and price gives you another position there. Let me see on the 4-hour if it is there. Even on the 4-hour it is there, which is a good sign. So let me continue to play price forward. Price retraces, does not reach the zone, plays around, drops, then comes back to the zone, does not touch the zone. Did not touch the zone. Comes back to the zone. Let me just extend it. All this time you're just patient, waiting for price to reach, to clearly touch your zone. So price comes and touches this zone you see here, touches it and respects it very well. Even the next candle tried to jump to the upside. However, it respected the zone very well. And this is a trade that I called out last week, and I'm still into this trade. One of my students is also still in the trade. So I'll just play price forward, plays around a little bit, like that, and boom, gives you that bearish candle. Retraces a little bit and gives you another bearish candle like that. And you see guys, that is now the power of being patient. You'll have to be patient because price is going to play around and torture you, test your patience. Some people will go out from there. Now look at what has happened on that candle. It has dropped with this bearish big candles. I expect price to keep on dropping. However, by now you should have some of your positions secured, only waiting for the final TP to be hit. So this is where we are, the current market on US oil. This is where we are, but we dropped from up here, so I'm still expecting US oil to continue dropping. However, let's see what price action is going to be doing. Price can just decide to respect this demand zone and then go to the upside, but I'm favoring the downside more to the upside. So let's keep on waiting and see what is going to happen. The good thing, we know that we are likely to come down here, and you see we have broken this low here. So if you close below here, just know this is our destination. So I think that is all on US oil. We shall meet tomorrow on another video. Kindly subscribe to the channel. Also, don't forget to like the video in case you like the content that you have consumed today. Then another thing is that the book is still on. Just click the link click the link in the bio or description of the video. Go to my Telegram channel and inbox me for it. And the mentorship, don't forget. So we still have our lessons, the free lessons on the Telegram group every Saturday until the end of the month. So that is all for today, and have a nice evening. We shall meet tomorrow. Bye.